Okay, good luck, Mike. Here you go. In which decade were the tennis champions Venus and Serena Williams born? 1960s, 70s or 80s?
Well, they're too young for the 60s, I would say, so I'm going to discount that. I'm inclined to think they're too young for the 70s. I mean, 1980s would make them 28. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the 80s.
It's got to be the 80s, you're right. Well done. Okay, Chris, in baseball, which two-word term refers to the area over the plate between the batter's knees and chest? Batter's box, strike zone or line drive?
Well, he better be wearing a batter's box. It's not a line drive. So, presumably, that's the strike zone that the pitcher aims for. Strike zone.
Strike zone is correct, Chris. Well done. I'll reach back to you, Mike. In September 2008, Alan Kirbishley stepped down as the manager of which football team? West Ham United, Wigan Athletic or West Bromwich Albion?
Well, if I don't get this right, me and my father are going to have a very silent trip home because he's a huge, well, I say huge, he's a West Ham United fan. It's West Ham United.
It is the right answer, yes, of course. West Ham, you knew that very, very well. Fell very nicely for you. So 2 to you. Chris, in which country was Olympic gold medal winning cyclist Bradley Wiggins born? Italy, Belgium or Russia?
With a name like Bradley Wiggins, unlikely it was any of them. They don't tend to breed cyclists in Russia. Italy or Belgium? Since they breed cyclists in Belgium, I'll say Belgium.
You'd say breed cyclists. You make it sound like there's some kind of facility where they're turning them out on their little bikes. But it is the right answer, Belgium. Mike, Chris Akabusi won a silver medal at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games. In which event? 400 metres, 400-metre hurdles or the 4x400 metres?
Well, I don't think he was a relay runner. I don't think he was the relay runner. So, or was he? It's one of those questions, isn't it? It wasn't the hurdles. He didn't jump the hurdles, did he? Or did he? Those questions. 4x4. Did he take the baton? All right, let's jump in and say 4x400 metres.
That's the one you were going to write off from the start. So
yeah.
It's come from third position to first.
In my mind, I remember he just got the silver medal ahead of the bronze medal position. Obviously, it was a real.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
It was a real lean towards. Maybe
Okay.
I'm hoping it was the 4x4. Let's see.
Yeah. So you're replaying that. So what, from 24, 25 years ago. And you've replayed it correctly in your head. 4x400, well done. Chris Akabusi, part of the relay team there. It means you've got to get this, Chris. Poole Pirates and Swindon Robins are teams in which sport? Speedway, American football or water polo?
Now, I've heard of the Swindon Robins. They don't play water polo. I don't think they play American football. I think they're a speedway team. The Poole Pirates certainly are.
Okay, Speedway is correct, yes. Okay, well, we go to sudden death again, so Mike, this is your question. The name of which indoor sport also describes a one-sided wrestling match in which the loser puts up little or no resistance?
It's either so obvious that I can't think. A one-sided wrestling match. Oh dear, dear. Indoor sport. No, squash. I mean, it's that can't be right, but squash.
Squash is your answer? It's the right answer.
I knew it all along.
Yeah, of course you did. You just kind of leaked it out of squash. Oh, can't be that. Yeah, well, you think about it, I suppose it must be, you know, in a wrestling match, you squash your opponent. So there we are. Well worked out. Chris, which Olympic gold medal winning gymnast was known as the Sparrow from Minsk?
Ooh. Tiny girl from what's now Belarus. Was then the Soviet Union, and it's Olga Korbut, surely.
It's correct, yes, the Sparrow from Minsk. So you'd face another question, Mike. In which sport might a hailkeeper cleek the shot?
Does it sound a bit... I mean, I'm kind of guessing. Might sound a bit Gaelic, perhaps? Cleeking and that sort of thing. So what sport would have a keeper? Now, I always get hurling and curling's the one on ice, I think, isn't it? So maybe it's hurling or Gaelic football. I don't know, hurling. Let's throw hurling in there.
OK, hurling, a hailkeeper cleeking the shot. It's very, very close, Mike, but not the right answer. It's not hurling. They are related. Let's just ask Chris again if he'd been in. Do you know?
Well, if it's very like hurling, it must be shinty.
Yeah, it's shinty, which is Scottish, of course, and hurling, the Irish version. So, a chance for Chris. Who knocked out Max Schmeling in the first round of their 1938 heavyweight world title fight?
38 heavyweight world title. That must have been Brown Bomber himself, Joe Louis.
It's the right answer, Chris. You're through to the final round. Bad luck, Mike. That was some good quizzing, I can tell you, but it just wasn't enough to get you through. I'm sorry about that. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So David, Barry and Mike D from the Celebrants and Judith from the Eggheads, would you leave the studio now, please? So Mike and Chris, you're playing to win the Celebrants, £24,000. CJ, Daphne, Chris and Barry, you're playing for something which money can't buy. The Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge and you are allowed to confer. Celebrants, the question is, are your 2 brains better than the Eggheads' 4? And Mike and Chris, would you like to go first or second?
What do you think? I think first.
We'll go first.
Get it over.
We'll get first, yep.
Time for your first question then. Best of luck, could be worth £24,000. Which is the lowest section of the human spinal column?
Yeah,
the cervical vertebrae, the thoracic vertebrae, or the coccyx?
Yeah, well, your cervical vertebrae must be the neck, cervix. The thoracic must be thorax, so your middle part. So the coccyx is...
Coccyx.
Yes, indeed. Very painful if you bang it right at the bottom there, so that'll be our answer, coccyx.
Oh, tailbone.
Indeed.
It's the right answer, well done. So, Eggheads, what is the name of the Church of England's National Assembly? The General Convocation, the General Synod, or the General Council?
That's the General Synod.
General Synod is correct, Eggheads. Well done, 1 each. Back to you, Celebrants. Which Canadian singer was born Eileen Regina Edwards on the 28th of August 1965? Shania Twain, Celine Dion, or Alanis Morissette?
Do you know?
I haven't got a clue.
Well, the only one I could reliably have told you was Canadian is Celine Dion. 1965, did you say?
28th of August 1965.
28th of August 1965. In terms of age, I think Celine Dion is the only one that fits. So be my not particularly great guess, but I don't know what you think.
I think you're right. You're saying. I mean, I don't know the other 2, but Celine Dion comes to me as a Canadian.
Yeah. Okay.
So on that basis.
Right. We'll go for Celine Dion, Dermot.
Okay, Celine Dion. They're all Canadian, aren't they, on that list?
They all are. Yeah.
They're all Canadian. It's not Celine Dion. I'm sorry, it's not, but Eggheads, do you know then?
Shania Twain.
It's Shania Twain. So, Eggheads, a chance for the lead. Plenty of questions to come. Eggheads, who played the role of Grasshopper in the 1970s TV series Kung Fu? David Carradine, Ryan O'Neill, or Kurt Russell?
Well, I'll leave Chris to do the impersonations, but it was David Carradine.
David Carradine, you think?
Yes.
All agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the right answer, yes, David Carradine, grasshopper.
Go on
You
then.
have much to learn, grasshopper.
That's dreadful. Well, Celebrants, you have to get this one to keep the game alive. Halberd and glaive are types of what? Medieval weapon, typeface, or folk dance?
From my school
types
days,
of what?
halberd was a weapon of some sort.
Yeah, that was going to be... I think if it's a typeface, you'd have seen it in all those millions of different fonts available
indeed.
on every word processor. And as soon as you're saying it, I was thinking weapons. So
Yeah.
we will shoot for medieval weapons. Yes, indeed.
Medieval
Appropriate,
weapons, the halberd and the glaive. That's right, well done. Kept you in it, but you've got to hope the eggheads don't get this. Eggheads, what aid to communication was developed in a school in Paris in the 18th century by the French educator Abbé Charles Michel de l'Épée? Is it the typewriter keyboard, sign language, or semaphore?
Sign language was developed in France.
I think it was semaphore. I don't think it was semaphore because I think that was Claude.
Sign language was definitely, I think, developed in France in
You remember reading that?
1700, sounds right.
It wasn't that a French priest who did it.
And if it's education.
Couldn't be a typewriter.
No.
Tough keyboard, 17, whatever, no.
No.
Certainly the right country for sign language. Yeah.
Right.
What do you think, eggheads?
After consultation, sign language.
Sign language. Abbé Charles Michel de l'Épée developed sign language. It's correct, eggheads. You've won.